Hey YouTube, new season, new buff Pokemon, new Beyond the Hype episodes. So for those of you who are new here, Beyond the Hype, you're going to see a lot of content creators put out a lot of content with these new Pokemon saying that everything is the best thing in the world. Not everything can be the best thing in the world, right? So what we do in this series is we cut through the BS. We go over the strengths of the Pokemon, the weaknesses of the Pokemon, how it felt using it, stuff like that. So Gastrodon, it is, as you're going to see in the rankings here, it is rank 5 on PvPoke rankings. Let's go over its strengths and its weaknesses and how I felt using it in the battles. So in terms of stat product, it is very similar to like a Quagsire. It's funny because it's a Mudboy like Quagsire, and it kind of feels like Quagsire in the stat product as well. 114 attack, 102 defense, a little low, but the stamina offsets it for 167, 1958 overall. Again, that's very similar to where you're going to see something like you're going to see Malamar later. But like the Quagsire, same thing, like 111, 161 for 2006 overall, right? It feels very, very similar in the stat product to Quagsire. And in the same case, it has the same typing. So Pro is stat product, basically on point where you want it, 114 attack, and a good stamina to get you to the close of that 2000 overall. And then you have that Mudboy, ground water. So you only have one weakness, and having one weakness is very, very, very strong in a meta, especially when grass is very underrepresented in this meta. So Pro for stat product, Pro for typing, and now we have the moveset. So Pro, 2 pros, 1 con, and then we'll talk about it in action. Mudslap got double buffed. Before, it was a hard-hitting move that charged very slow. They decided to increase the energy, which was nice because it was much needed. But they also increased the damage too. So this thing slaps. And I'll show you that in action. Body Slam did get nerfed though. And Body Slam, you can get away with having a nerf on normal typings because you get same type attack bonus. So for those of you who do not know, if you throw a charge move that is the same typing as your typing, you get a 20% bonus. So what made Vigoroth and Lickitung so strong was not only did you have a super fast Body Slam, 35 energy, but the damage was like, I think they nerfed it 5 or 10. So it was either 55 or 60, plus they got a 20%, it was 60. So I think they nerfed it times down 10. And then you got a 20% bonus on top of that. So suddenly you're doing a 2 damage per energy turn at 35 energy. So they nerfed the damage on Body Slam. At the same time, Body Slam is a normal typing and you are not a normal typing, so you don't get that 20% bonus. So man, Body Slam is not a good move on this Pokemon. You really want to try to land the Earth Powers when you can. Earth Power 55 or 108, 10% chance of lowering your opponent's defense, 1.96 damage per energy. So I felt like here's a bunch of pros. Mudslap slaps for sure. You do have a bait move in Body Slam. Earth Power is a nice move when you get to it. It is a 3-turn move, which again is not the best but not the worst, right? It falls right in the middle. The best moves are you want 1 and 2-turn moves because they're easier to fast move time and stuff like that. 3-turn move a little trickier, but you can deal with it. It's not like a 4 or 5. The damage per turn, great. The energy per turn, I felt how slow it was. It takes, you're going to see here in the counts, 4 to get to a Body Slam and 6 to get to a Earth Power. And remember, these are 3-turn moves, not 2-turn moves. And just to put it in perspective how spammy other Pokemon were compared to, and again, it's not a like for like comparison because Quagsire had Mud Shot, which was the fast charging move. But like Quagsire used to go 4 2-turn moves to get to the Aqua Tail, and this takes 4 3-turn moves, right? So you're essentially 4 extra turns worth of moves, which is like 2 extra Mud Shots for Quagsire. And same thing, 6 to here. So in total, it's 18 turns to get to the Earth Power. So it's a little, it felt a little slow at times. I'm not gonna lie. So let's look at an action. The team I used was Lickitung and Mandibuzz. Why did I use that? Well, I'm pretty sure I put the team in my top video as Lickitung and Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz because Gastrodon is weak to grass. Cover your grass with the flyer, the top ranked flyer is Mandibuzz, so put that together. I want to save swap. I want to do Licky and those maybe roll out normal type users as a different video, so I'm going to save those. And to compare Licky with Lickitung, I want to see how bad this Body Slam felt. And again, Body Slam feels way worse on Gastrodon than Lickitung. You feel it, you definitely feel the nerf on Lickitung, but you don't feel it as bad because you get the same type attack bonus on it. Now, it is the first games. So you're gonna see some sweaty battles. I'll mostly showcase those. I'm gonna showcase everything because I have 9 battles here. I went 9-1 with this team. One was a 10 CP, just people wanting to run through. So I've got the other 9 battles in here. Some like this one you're going to see are underpowered. This is a 1058 throw. So again, you can't really talk about the slaps, how much it slaps here. And then Bruxis comes in. So I'm just going to ignore this one and go through the rest of them. So I think the Gastrodon Mandibuzz core works. And Lickitung was actually a okay safe swap. Let's just talk about Lickitung in this terrible first matchup. Lickitung felt just slightly worse than last year because you had the Body Slam, which does not do as much. But you're going to see in some matches when I get lined up with a Azumarill where you're just doing Lick and Body Slam, Power Whip anyways, like it does fine. And again, you can't really take into consideration these Body Slams on a terribly underpowered Pokemon. So again, this is a 1289 Arcorio, so we're gonna just ignore how much damage that does. Maybe I should have put the crap battles towards the ending here. But we are going to take this out. You can fast forward like probably 30 seconds here. Although if you watch on 1.75 speed like I do, maybe fast forward like 15 seconds. As we're gonna take this Body Slam here, lick down, and here we go. A match that now matters. So Clodsire. So this is a great lead because they are half poisoned, so they're going to lose. Goodra comes in. And again, I'm just staying in because I want to see this Pokemon. You're going to see a lot of that from me. It's just like testing out Pokemon just to see how they feel. So sometimes I stay in longer than I should. Shield up an Aqua Tail. I want to throw a Body Slam just to see how much it does. And they shield. I'm like, okay, at this point in the ones, let's just get alignment here because I want to get Gastrodon back on Clodsire if I can. So I'm taking these moves. I think the most obvious one is like this Body Slam that does not enough to Goodra and it lives and gets another move. Like that would easily take out in the past. Okay, they don't get another move, but that would have easily taken out in the past. So stuff like that, and which is why I went straight Power Whip here because I'm like, oh, Body Slam is really bad now. So I'm just going to go for the harder hitting move. The Power Whip is both neutral. Might as well. So that was the thought process on the Power Whip. So yes, Lickitung is definitely worse than last year. I don't think it's unusable. Quite honestly, I think it's still pretty good. Like again, just living these poison stings. This Body Slam, I'm going to go through on a tanky Clodsire. Not going to do much damage. Out comes the Guzzlord. I'm going to just throw the Body Slam. Again, I just kind of want to see how much it's going to do. And like does not even put it into the yellow, right? So again, it's not a bad thing to not have a good, not everything about this Pokemon needs to be overpowered, right? Mud Slap, you're going to see in some of these situations coming up, you're going to see how much it slaps. It's quite a hard hitting move. It was always a hard hitting move and they buffed it. So it just hits harder. The energy, again, at times it feels slow because it's 4 Mud Slaps to a Body Slam and 6 to an Earth Power. And it's a 3-turn move, right? So we're going to slap down this Clodsire. We're going to shield up a move. Worried about an Earthquake. These are obviously super effective slaps, so they feels like they're doing way more than they should. But at this point, I'm just like, I've got to just slap down. And again, here comes the stat product coming in here. Taking a stab, buffed Brutal Swing, and living because you got some bulk to you. Okay, terrible lead, so I've got to pivot immediately. Slightly underpowered Golbats, so they are not even getting out. So now we're just going to spam this just to burn the switch clock here a little bit. Note to self for future battles, put all the good ones at the beginning and save the crap ones for later. Because there were some sweaty ones. Like I went against, yeah, they're showing resisted Shadow Balls. I went against some like really good battlers here, as you're gonna see. So this one, they are not a good battler. They're just staying in. They threw a resisted Shadow Ball. I've already grabbed a shield. Here comes, I take switch. They're gonna come in with, oh yeah, this team is very bad against Lickitung. A Hoopa, which is double weak to Ghost, and out comes Glaceon. So I think after I throw this move, I get back into Gastrodon just again to see, like, okay, what can this Pokemon do? It's 1383, and again, it's Glaceon at 1383, but you can just see even in itself how much those Mud Slaps are doing. You'll see it better on like bulkier Pokemon. I do have matchups coming up, so I suggest staying to watch these battles where Gastrodon does hit pretty hard on these Pokemon that are fully powered. Malamar, here's one. So here come the slaps, right? So Malamar got super buffed. That'll be my afternoon video. So now you can see I've already taken this down to almost 50% health. So I throw just the Body Slam. And here's the thing. Body Slam itself is going to do nothing here. And I think they'll let the next Body Slam go. So they get a second move. I let one go. I'll shield. Because I think I can either grab the second shield or take switch. Let's see if I can just go Earth Power. Or, yeah, I just go Body Slam. And I'm pretty sure this does not take out. Yeah. And then they give up switch into Sableye. Which is great. Oh yeah, I feel bad for them. Their back line is just like walled against my team. They are running the Shadow. They're running a triple buff team. So Malamar got the double buff. I'll talk about that this afternoon. Sableye Power Gem got really buffed, so it actually may be the de facto over return now. I'll have to do my own analysis on that, but I'll check that out. And then they have Marowak in the back, and I just got a Dark for it. So kind of hard countered in the back. Not much they can do there. They are a subscriber because they tagged me and said, I just got RPS'd against you. I'm like, yes, you did. So the first matchup showed Gastrodon what I think its strength and weaknesses are. It basically just Mud Slapped the whole thing down because the Body Slam did nothing. So there's your pros and cons. Mud Slap, it does do a ton of damage. Body Slam is very bad as a first move on this Pokemon because of the non-stab and nerf. And then again, it takes what is net 18 turns worth of energy to get to an Earth Power. So it's slow to get to the Earth Power. So there's your... I think this Pokemon's good. Like I said, I took this Hydro because I just want to see, like, how much can this take? Look at those. Look at how much those slaps are doing, right? I'm now just getting to the Body Slam where Body Slam won't take out from here. Like, they can let this go and live. But the Mud Slap put so much pressure on this Feraligatr. I Mud Slapped this to the yellow, right? I Mud Slapped this to the yellow and then 1 to 2 licks to get it in the red. So that is this Pokemon in a nutshell. Great fast move in terms of damage. Not amazing in energy. Terrible Body Slam. Nice Earth Power. A little slower to get to the Earth Power. Decent bulk. Decent stat product there. Pair it with a Flying to deal with your Grass weakness. Is basically how you play this. They have an Annihilape here. So that is not something that has not changed here. I mean, it counters resisted, but they did not change it. But they do have a Bastion on the back against my Flyer. So unfortunately, I will lose this matchup. I try my best to catch, but I just lose the matchup in the ending. So that is Gastrodon. Do I think it is going to be meta? Yes. Here's the problem with this Pokemon. Here's the problem. Do I think it's worth its 5 ranking? You know, I'm not going to talk about the merits of like 1 versus 5 versus 10. I'd say it's like a top 20 Pokemon for sure. It's definitely going to be a very usable, strong Pokemon. Let's just start like that. Because Body Slam's such a bad move. First of all, not that there's going to be a lot of Flyers or Grass, but if you see a Grass or Flyer, you're screwed with Gastrodon, right? Because grass and flying resist the ground. And at best, you're going to have a neutral, non-stab body slam, so you're going to get killed. And this is I think the main concern I have about this Pokemon is that where I tend to favor Pokemon that can get by in bad matchups, this cannot. So I'll just use Sableye because everyone knows I love using Sableye. Always a winner. Sableye can flip a Azumarill matchup. Sableye, even in the worst case scenario, Wigglytuff, is if you have a return, you can, where you're resisting, the claws are resisted, you could land a return that'll put it with a little bit of energy advantage to put it in like the deep yellow red, right? So even in the worst case scenarios, Pokemon like that can do good. If Gastrodon gets walled, it's getting walled hard against the grass. And I think I saw Drifblim somewhere in here. Like I get one against Drifblim, which is Ghost and Flying. So that thing completely destroys Gastrodon, right? So there are going to be Pokemon that just destroy this Pokemon. So anything that resists the Mud Slap is going to cause you some problems. Or anything that almost resists the... I don't want to say... I was going to say anything that resists the body slam, but you try to not throw the body slam if you don't have to. But like if it's like a ghost move where you're slapping, you still need to get to the earth power. And again, yes, they bumped up the energy, but it's still a pretty slow charging move overall. So it's going to take 18 to get to the earth power, but so it's going to take a while to get there. And again, just to put it into perspective, like, I guess it is the same as getting to like a play rough. I'm trying to put it in perspective of other Pokemon. It's the same as getting to the earth power as getting to a play rough on a Azumarill. Or I'm trying to think of other 3-turn Pokemon that have like 6 to get to. But no, like Umbreon's under. Umbreon's only 4 to a foul play and 5 to a last resort. But again, this chips now. Well, I've got Machamp. Is my Machamp? My Machamp's going to be tomorrow. I got thoughts on that too. Machamp's tomorrow, but Machamp is now a 3-turn move Pokemon, and it gets to the Cross Chop in 4. And again, Cross Chop is not as strong as Earth Powers. Don't get me wrong, I understand that. But when it's one of your only charge moves that is doing anything, you kind of feel like you need to rely on it. And if you're not getting to it in time, it's that. So basically, when you use this Pokemon, the strength of this Pokemon is going to be its Mud Slap. So try to do as much damage as you can with the Mud Slap, and then figure out where to go from there. Whether you can just like double spam Body Slam, or if it's worth like trying to land the Earth Power, maybe grabbing a shield or doing an insane amount of damage. I think that's the way you play this Pokemon. So do manage to keep switch here. Gonna throw the Aerial Ace here and just go down. Slapping here. They come in with a Talonflame, and again, it is a flyer. So immediately it's just like, yeah, Mud Slap is resisted, Earth Power is resisted, Body Slam is garbage, I need to get out. So you might want to try and like build. You need to build for the grass weakness because you're double weak to grass. But you might want to have 1 to 2 answers for like a bunch of flyers in this meta. This is going crazy. They almost won this game because my game went crazy on me and like almost like I probably should have taken it out, but the leg there is too much. Gonna shield up and move. The Mud Slap did register there, so it will take them out because they're almost out. And again, here comes the bulk. The kind of strength. Yes, Clodsire is not an attack heavy Pokemon, but the Earthquake not threatening me any sort of way. They need 2 Earthquakes, so that's kind of one of the pros of this thing. And no, it does not matter what version you have a Gastrodon, the green, blue, pink, brown, whatever, does not matter. So again, lost the lead, instant swap, spamming the Body Slams, grab a shield, take the first move. Gonna get another one off here. Do they double shield this? I forget if they double shield and try to commit to the Talonflame. Yeah. At this point, and they throw, so that's fine. I can now get my Mandibuzz on this and try and take it out with the Dark Pulse. I will respect the move because they're double boosted. And I think I throw one Snarl and Dark Pulse because I thought that it would take out from this range. And it leaves with like 1 HP, so it does not quite take it out from this range, unfortunately. But I do Snarl down and they need to throw another Incinerate, and that's not going to register. And out comes a Whiscash, so I'm going to try and chip, and then we'll see if the Scald lowers my attack. And if it does, then I'll get back into Gastrodon. So out comes a Scald. I remember it does lower my attack. So then I instant swap, not instant swap, I see it, I swap here. And I kind of read it, and that's why I kind of knew I'm in trouble. Because if you have a Talonflame on the front, you probably have an answer for Rock/Water in the back. So at this point, I just tried to sacrifice, Gastrodon, take this out with a Dark Pulse, and now I have one shield, so shield up the Scald, Dark Pulse here, and I do end up getting off the Aerial Ace for the win upcoming here. So that was just kind of recognizing you just kind of read it, right? They had a Talonflame on the front. They probably have an answer in the back to rock and stuff. So grass it is. Grass and water, like water and rock. Grass is your answer. So read that. Dragonair. So again, this one I'm staying in because I just want to see it. As you see, so 3, 4, 5. So this is a non-Shadow Dragonair. So they're not doing as much damage and I'm not doing as much damage. You can live a Body Slam with these. Getting to the Earth Power. I'll fake it. Again, if you want to just try and grab a shield, you can just grab a shield here. But now you can see Body Slam does not do much. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, I want to just commit to the farm down because I know SLAPS slaps. I'll commit to the shield and have just an insane amount of energy coming out here. So I can just like take switch, and then I'm like, oh no. Who still runs Skarmory in this meta? So I come in here just like, okay, Lickitung, do your lick damage. They throw a Sky Attack. And out comes a Stunfisk. So get the Lick Power Up is what you throw anyway. So even though Body Slam is nerfed, does not matter too much. They are farming up a ton. Get off a Rock Slide here. I live with like 1 HP if I remember. Because Rock Slide got nerfed. So Rock Slide nerfed enough that I live, which I did not think I would in that case. And they shield, and now I snipe with the Earth Power here. And this is enough to take out. They let it go. So that's a one-shot. Hopefully I cannot get to a Body Slam. And now it is a Mandibuzz versus a Skarmory here. And they are Shadow, so they're low enough that Dark Pulse they are in Dark Pulse range. So I get if they're not Dark Pulse, they're pretty close to Dark Pulse range. So I get a Dark Pulse off. They shield. I get a second one off here. If this does take them out, it's going to be like 1 HP left. And it does take him out, and this was my 5-0. So I went 9-1 with the team. You don't need as bulky Pokemon as Lickitung and Mandibuzz in the back. Again, I was just using a safe swap with a Flyer just to cover your grass weakness, and I think that makes sense overall. And then Gastrodon will resist the electric that Mandibuzz is weak to, right? You don't have an answer for Fairy directly, but that's okay. So that is it. That is team number 1. That is Gastrodon. Not that I need to repeat, but if you fast forwarded and just want to hear the Cole's notes, Gastrodon, Mudslap, Slaps, little slow on the energy charge. Body Slam, nerfed and non-stab is garbage. Feels a little slow to get to the Earth Power. The way I'd play this Pokemon is basically slap the crap out of your opponent and then figure out whether it's worth just going Earth Power for 1, grabbing a shield, or just sort of nuking there, or if you want to just do back-to-back Body Slams. But yeah, it's a little slow on the up there. Sorry, there we go. My mouse broke, so I'm using this other mouse and I'm just getting used to it. So that's it. So Malamar got a double buff. Psywave did get the 2 buff, so I'm going to use that this afternoon. And then I will have Karate Chop Machamp tomorrow morning. And then we'll keep going with a bunch of Pokemon. I asked you for your suggestions, so if you want to list other Pokemon, again, I got plenty of time to test these Pokemon, so drop a Pokemon in the comments below, which one you want me to test, and I will test it. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know how your day 1 went, and I will see you guys in the next one.